Dear students in architecture and landscape architecture, I'm David Long, Professor of Architecture, and Lady Edith Cookwall, Professor in the Built Environment. I'm happy to offer you this course on Vernacular Architecture of Asia again this term. I've taught this course for many years, and what I've enjoyed teaching this course is to see students at the end of the course finding new perspectives in looking at their everyday environment they live in. My previous teaching of this course is very much following the traditional approach, and that is lecturing in the classroom, and then students would be listening and taking notes to what I suggest they need to know. However, in this occasion, I'm taking a different approach, and that is the flipped classroom approach. You as the learners will take a driver's seat, and that is you take initiative and learn at your own pace, and then I'll be your guide at your side to give you guidance in the classroom. So what is a flipped classroom situation like? I've completed a set of 10 videos on the subject of vernacular architecture of Asia. So first of all, before you come to the classroom each week, you will watch the videos, weekly videos on the subject, which I and my colleagues and some of the experts in the field have discussed. And you will be watching those videos plus some readings, and you come to the classroom for discussion, debates and group projects in order to gain a deeper understanding of the topic involved. For the course description, I suggest you go to the departmental website. So I welcome you to join this class this year, and I would like you to meet my other facilitators who has been working with me on the online video. And they are Peter Lampert, Norman Ng, Abdul Young, and also Edwin Wu. So with this team in joining me in the flipped classroom teaching, I'm sure you will gain a deeper knowledge of what vernacular architecture of Asia is about. I look forward to you joining this class. Thank you. How observant are you of the built environment you live in? Have you ever come across a building that looks rather ordinary, and yet you are fascinated by the story behind it? Have you ever wondered why people build the way they do, or why they choose certain materials over others, or even why the building faces a certain direction? In answering these questions, we need to look at our communities' embedded identities and tradition over time. And this, in essence, is what the study of vernacular architecture is all about. Much of the Asian vernacular built heritage comes from the assimilation of different cultures through immigration and trading activities. This provides both explicit and subtle references to the countries of their origin. Asia is a place that has many cultural layers. It has seen rapid economic growth over the past few decades, which doesn't only transform people's lives, but also changes the everyday environment in which they live. People in Asia are faced daily with the dual challenges of, on the one hand, modernization, and on the other, preserving their many heritage, including, of course, their built heritage. This course will give you multiple perspectives on vernacular environments. With an emphasis on the built heritage of Asia, we will discuss topics including indigenous building materials, the effects that climates have on the built environment, the way culture shapes buildings, building processes that are unself-conscious, different building methods and traditions, and vernacular landscapes. A key question we will try to answer is how do we deal with the challenges and threats to vernacular architecture and make sure that it is sustained in this modern urbanized world. In the first 3 episodes, we will look at the what and where and begin to raise the questions of why and how. For example, in episode 1, we will search for the deeper socio-cultural meaning of rural architecture. We will explore the process of building. Why do people make the building decision the way they do when constructing their built environments? Are these decisions made in a self-conscious or unself-conscious manner? In episode 2, we will look at the challenges of people migrating from villages to live in cities. How do villages adjust their way of living to effectively respond to the functional, social, and environmental constraints? How do Asian cities respond to the changes in the lifestyle and habitats brought about by the westernization and colonization of the 17th to the 20th centuries? Taking the topic of urban vernacular a step further, Episode 3 looks at what we call informal settlements, or as some people would call them, illegal settlements or squatter areas in Asian cities. What common characteristics of building do these particular communities share? What lessons can we draw from them in terms of sustainable living? In the final 2 episodes, we will focus on the how and try to explore answers to a few questions that are very relevant to the current status and future development of vernacular architecture, such as how can we conserve and sustain our vernacular cultural heritage? How can we reconcile tradition and modernity? We will also cast our eyes into the future and discuss how the field of vernacular architecture might evolve and develop in the years to come. Ultimately, the goal is to help you to establish your own viewpoints about the more complex or even contradictory issues in vernacular architecture, so that you can make informed decisions regarding the protection and conservation of your local vernacular environments.